by Henry Umoru, Abuja. Strong indications emerged that the bill for an act to repeal the Nigeria Press Council Act, 1992 may have died a natural death after the public hearing organized by the Senate yesterday in Abuja. Lampooning the bill during the one-day public hearing by the Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation, led by Senator Suleiman Adeekwe, PDP, Nasarawa Newspaper Publishers Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, one editors and Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, unanimously asked the upper chamber to throw away the bill. They contended that the bill was not only draconian, unconstitutional, anti-people, anti-business and anti-free speech but also seeks to criminalize journalism practice, despite the fact that the laws of the country already had enough provisions and avenues for seeking legal redress. Presenting the position of media stakeholders at the public hearing, Chairman, Newspapers Proprietors Association of Nigeria (NPAN), President, Nigerian Press Organization, Mr. Nduka Obegbina, urged the Senate to borrow from best practices in other jurisdictions that have expressly provided for and guaranteed press freedom without any form of government interference. Obegbina, who presented the positions of Nigerian Guild of Editors (NGE), Nigeria Union of Journalists (NUJ), International Press Council, Institute for Media and Society, Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, a media law center, asked the National Assembly to make laws that will enable the media exercise its constitutional obligations, as spelled out in Section 22 of the Constitution. According to him, such laws will enable the media pass laws that will promote transparency, accountability and open government, such as mandatory delivery of the State of the Nation address by the President and State of the State address by governors on specified days of the year. He also asked the Senate for a law that will ensure presidential and governorship election debates before elections, complete transparency in election funding, including public declaration of sources of election finance by all candidates and political parties, and ensuring the integrity of the electoral process. The statement, Obegbina's statement, read in part, a meeting of Nigerian Press Organization, NPA, comprising the Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, NPAN, Nigeria Guild of Editors, NGE, and Nigerian Union of Journalists, NUJ, as well as other media stakeholders, was held on Thursday, July 19, 2018, to deliberate on the Nigerian Press Council Bill 2018. The meeting painstakingly studied the provisions of the proposed bill in the context of its implication for free speech, press freedom, media independence, safety of journalists and the right to operate as a business in accordance with the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The meeting also took notice of the fact that a lawsuit instituted by the Nigerian Press Organization, NPA, on the same subject matters of the bill is pending at the Supreme Court. Consequent upon the above, the meeting observed and resolved as follows: the proposed bill is unconstitutional as it runs against the principles and tenets of the rule of law and is actually sub judice, given that a case on the subject matter is still pending in the highest court of the land, the Supreme Court, in view of which the bill should not have been drafted in the first instance. That the bill is, for all intents and purposes, draconian and anti-press freedom, being an amalgamation of the obnoxious Public Offices Protection Against False Accusation Decree No. 4 of 1984 and Newspapers Registration Decree 43 of 1993, both vestiges of the dark days of military rule and, therefore, incurably and irreparably bad, being also inconsistent with values of our democratic society. Bill expunges perceived draconian provisions of extant law. Saraki, who was represented by Chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Aliusabi Abdullahi, APC, Niger North, said, the bill expunges perceived draconian provisions of extant law, amends some to fit current sensibilities, and inserts new clauses to situate the practice of journalism in a modern context in line with global standards. It would also grant autonomy to the Nigerian Press Council, while creating an institutional framework for the enforcement of ethical codes and standards, as regulated by practitioners themselves. Given Nigeria's current polished climate and the role of the media in shaping narratives and driving public opinion, you will agree with me that an oversight body such as the NPC is of utmost importance to the country. Further evidence is provided in the adverse impact of the so-called fake news on the polity, and the potential to heighten tensions with respect to the various sub-national conflict situations currently being experienced in the country. Also, in his remarks, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation, Senator Suleiman Adequate, promised that the Senate would continue to look at the laws of the land, including that which regulates the press. He said the bill seeks to promote high professional standards for the Nigerian press and deal with complaints emanating both from members of the public about the conducts of practitioners in the system as well as complaints from the press about the conducts of persons or organizations towards the press in Nigeria. Minister, Permsec, DGs FRCN, Von NBC, NAN NFVCB, APCON, NTA, others shun hearing. Meanwhile, Minister of Information, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information, Directors General, Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN, Voice of Nigeria, Von National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, Managing Director of News Agency of Nigeria, NAN, Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, among others, shunned the public hearing. Present at the hearing were publisher of Vanguard newspapers, Mr. Sam Amuka, NPAN President and publisher of This Day, Nduka Obegbina, former President of NPAN, Malam Ismaila Isafintua, Editor-in-Chief, Vanguard newspapers, Mr. Benga Aidfair, President, Nigeria Guild of Editors, NGE, Funke Egbemode, and President, Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ, Wahid Odsal. Others are Director, International Press Center, Lanre Aragondade, Executive Director, Ellen Institute for Media and Society, Okinaging Blue, Director, Media Law Center, Richard Akinola, and Director, Media Rights Agenda, Adeta Enojo, among others.